Good evening and welcome to today's Positive Daily Zoom Boom. It's the 30th of April and I'm your host, Chrissy Regan, and I'm welcoming you here from all over the world. And if you're catching up on SoundCloud, thank you for joining us. So today I've been thinking a lot about the mums around the world who are suffering and struggling and managing and juggling and plate spinning and doing the best they can to keep everyone happy and fed and keep working and keep kids in school. And really the amount of added load that has added to, any mum really. And as a woman, we assume most of the responsibilities for making sure that those things continue in the way that they should. And whilst dads do participate, I think it's mums that absorb more of the mental load when it comes to ensuring that, the children are still where they need to be at given times if they're doing lessons via Zoom or they need to submit coursework each day. And if you're doing schooling from the kitchen, as a lot of people are in other places, keeping everybody happy and moving forward in the right direction at this time is a massive challenge, because what tends to happen is we, the mum, let our plates left unspun. So all the other plates are spinning. Our plate is not spinning. It's either put to the side or crashes to the floor and breaks. And I've seen and met a few mums this week who are feeling like their self-care regime has gone totally by the wayside, that the emotional drain of the children's emotions on top of their own emotions has become, a real point of contention in the house. And, that's really important because, our children are dealing with huge emotions. My daughter especially is dealing with some really huge emotions at the moment, and she's kind of regressed a little bit in feeling lonely at night and wanting to be very close to us, and feeling that everything is all out of kilter in her world. And, that's really, really hard to explain on an ongoing basis why the world and things are out of kilter. We can explain it until we're blue in the faces, and we can empathize with them, and we can do things to try to alleviate their discomfort and their confusion. My overwhelming desire as the founder of Mindful Mums Queensland was to ensure that mums prioritise their health and wellness and well-being above all else, because when we show up for ourselves and our health and wellness, then we're better able to show up for others, to care for them in a healthier way, better long term and more positive. So feeling overwhelmed with situation on any given day is important to kind of notice and to recognize that, and to really think, what am I doing for myself today that's going to make me the happiest, calmest, most rested, and really to prioritize your self-care, because I'm seeing it every day, and I know it's a challenge for women to continue self-care under the circumstances, but even just a few short things, 10-minute bursts, 5-minute bursts throughout the day will help you, because I think sometimes we put exercise as the ultimate goal, which is something that we need to spend a whole hour doing. The reality is that we can exercise efficiently in 10 minutes. So even if you just did 10 minutes of exercise, 2 or 3 times throughout the day, if you did 10 minutes of running around in the yard, 10 minutes of bouncing on the trampoline, 10 minutes of running and playing hide and seek, or just 10 minutes of, having a disco. My 2-year-old is constantly asking me at the moment for a dance off or a dance battle. So we've been doing lots of dance battles, but I really just want to encourage you to be mindful of your self-care during this time, because I'm seeing it so much that women are neglecting their self-care needs because they've assumed all of the role of continuing to educate as well as earn and work and cook and clean and all of those things. And we can very quickly find ourselves feeling fed up, frustrated, burnt out, tired, exhausted even, and just it becomes too much, and then we give up. And generally what we give up is self-care, hobbies, and or just feeling in a lack of control. And when you feel out of control, then you can spiral kind of quite quickly downwards. And what I tend to do when I notice that my self-care regime is slipping, or I'm having a lot of negative thoughts or feelings about a situation, and I've said before, and I'll just repeat it again, that we can think about our emotions, we can get emotional about our thinking, and 98% of the thoughts that you have throughout the day, you have had before. So if you find yourself in a rabbit hole of thinking, or a mental track of feeling negative or frustrated or overwhelmed or fed up, you really need to go inside and ask yourself that question: how am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? What is it doing to me mentally? What's coming up for me emotionally? And then you can just observe yourself having those reactions, and you don't necessarily need to think, I have to stop it, change it, or fix it. But by noticing it and being aware of it, you can go, oh, okay, I noticed that at this moment when I should be, helping my child, or I should be getting dinner ready, I'm feeling all of these feelings. And often what we can do is just then change the script in our head. We can change the narrative to something more positive. And the other thing that I did today, which was immensely valuable, was I wrote down a list of women that I admire. And it just, took me maybe 5 minutes to think about, okay, who do I admire and why? And what I realized at the end of that list of who I admired and why is because they have all gone through the hard yards. They are women who have had challenges, or, real obstacles in their life. And despite going through these immense challenges, they have, become a beacon of hope for others, because they've shone a spotlight on how they were feeling, what they went through, and they have built up, their resilience in order to overcome. But what they didn't do in overcoming was to become victims, because we can now overcome something if we become a victim of something. So they were able to use their experiences to rise up by acknowledging those experiences, acknowledging how it made them feel, but also acknowledging the lessons that they'd learned about themselves in that. And that's kind of also what I wanted to end tonight's talk about, was to encourage you to think about, okay, well, what have I learned about myself during this time? What have been my biggest challenges, mentally as well as emotionally? What have been any of my self-care priorities, and how can I get those back on track, even if it's just short 10-minute bursts throughout the day? And what are my priorities kind of going forward for myself on a mental, physical and spiritual level? And spiritual means all different things to different people, but ultimately it's getting in touch with your inner essence and your inner core, and what keeps us as humans all connected and moving forward, which is also consciousness. So those are some thoughts I wanted to share with you today. I am feeling incredibly empathetic for the women out there who are suffering. And I know if you're watching and listening to this, then you are too. And we can reach out to them, but also we can be a beacon of hope, and we can rise up, and we can use our experiences to help and support others during this time. And that's what I would love it for other women and other mums to do. So I'd like to invite you to join me now for a meditation. Excuse me while I cross my legs. Just sit comfortably, or if you're ready for nights, you can lie down and put your hands in your lap or down by your side, and just close your eyes. Let's take 5 deep centering breaths. Thank you for joining me for this meditation this evening. I'd like you just to wind down the windows on either side of your head. Just let the cool air pass through. Infuse your head, your worries and doubts just fluttering out the windows. Your to-do lists have blown away in the breeze. Your head feels calm and cool. And you take a deep breath. Just let go. You're here now just to let go. Let go of worries, fears, doubts, tension, anxiety, negativity, frustration, feelings of isolation. Everything that you're feeling right now is normal. We're all feeling the same. I am just like you. Just sit with that for a moment. Everyone else around you is just like you, because we are all connected. Energetically, we are all connected. Taking time each day for yourself allows you to remember that we are all connected energetically. You're not a victim. You're a beacon. You can rise up and be a beacon for others whenever you want to. Your experiences are important. They matter. You're a shining light for your family, your children, your friends, your loved ones. You can be a beacon. Or a lighthouse, a centering point that people look to. You need to recharge your battery. Notice when your battery is getting low. Notice when your battery needs charging. And take time to do it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. That might be enough. Just keep your battery topped up. Just remember that everything you're doing right now is the right thing for you and your family. Take 2 deep breaths and open your eyes. Thank you for joining me for tonight's meditation. I hope you found that useful. Just remember, you only need a few minutes each day to recharge. The longer the better, but if you can only find a few minutes, make sure you protect that for yourself, and you will be able to last longer, feel less overwhelmed, and cope with the challenges that we're all facing, because there are other women just like you. Thank you for watching. I'm Chrissy Regan, founder of Mindful Mums Queensland, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.